Simmers, it's ThatSimminWitch here, and it's the very first day of spooky season. Yay! Spooky season is my favourite time of year. I do celebrate it every single day of the year though, because I am a goth, basically, the gothiest of goths. Um, But I know there are people that only celebrate it for a month or two, so I thought that I would do some little spooky season themed videos for October. I might carry them on a little bit after October. We'll see how it goes. But we are in Willow Creek. Obviously, you can see we're in Willow Creek, one of the base game worlds, and we are having a little costume party, and I'm going to show you the costumes that I have given to some of our, to all of our townies basically that live in Willow Creek. I've assigned them all a little Halloween costume that suits their personality, kind of suits their vibe, maybe tells a little bit of a story with their family members, and I'm going to quickly talk you through them. We're not going to do any playing. I'm just going to go into Create Sim and get started. I'm going to do it from here. So we're going to start with the goths, because these are the most obvious ones. And as we know, the goths are kind of based on the Addams Family, and I love the Addams Family, like the 90s ones especially, with Christina Ricci as Wednesday. I just absolutely, they are like some of my favourite movies of all time, and they kind of, I think, one of the first times I really fell in love with like the spooky aesthetic and like the goth vibes, shall we say. But yeah, so clearly we have our little own versions of our Addams Family. For Spooky Day, they are dressed up specifically as the Addams Family. So we're going to go to their party wear. We're going to go here. So this is Bella, obviously, as Morticia. So Morticia is one of the ones that are a tiny bit more difficult. There isn't a specific dress that's really Morticia-like. This one happens to be my favourite, but there were a few different floor-length gowns. This one is from my wedding stories, but there are a few. There's one in Get Together that's quite like gothic. Pretty much nearly all of the wedding dresses have a black swatch, so depending on the vibe that you want for your Morticia, you could probably do this no matter what packs you had. I chose this one just because I like the simplicity of the dress. I like that it doesn't have any slits or anything, so it kind of gives the vibe like in those, like in the 90s movies of the Addams Family. Morticia in that doesn't, like, she has a really like sort of revealing top half of her dress, but the bottom half is all closed in, and she has like the puddle of fabric around the bottom of her dress. But unfortunately we don't have any dresses like that in the game, so this is kind of like the vibe that I went for. I went for maybe a bit more of a modern Morticia, if you like. She's like gone a little bit corporate. To sort of like help with the goth vibes in her, like in the film, she has like these long sleeves that have like fabric that hangs over her hands and stuff. Obviously, again, we don't really have anything like that, so to kind of make up for that, I used some of the new gloves that we have from Enchanted by Nature. This is what the dress looks like without the gloves, and yeah, that's what it's like with the gloves. So that's kind of what I went for. Fingernails wise, I obviously chose some really pointy red ones. I know that Morticia does have, I'm pretty sure she has red fingernails anyway in the film, and I just thought pointy ones made quite a lot of sense, considering she's like goth vibes. I didn't really worry about her shoes. I think I just kept her in the shoes that she already had on, because in this dress you can't see them anyway. She could be wearing slippers for all you know. You don't get to see her shoes when she's in this dress. Hair wise, obviously she normally has like this sort of long hair with like little flicks in, but in the films Morticia has really long straight hair, so I went for this little hair. I can't remember which one. Yeah, this is a For Rent one, but there's quite a few different ones that give off pretty similar vibes, and that just happened to be my favourite. I know I did try a few different colours of them on, just to not colours different styles, sorry, but you could go for whatever one that you either have access to or whatever one happens to be your favourite. This was just my favourite. I kept her little like black pearl earrings in. I just thought they looked quite cute. Makeup wise, I did give her a bit more of a smoky eye, and I gave her some wings on her eyeliner. Oh, I was in the wrong category. Yeah, just because this winged eyeliner is one of my new favourite eyeliners. It's from the Essential Glam pack that we got a little while ago. Oh, I just love that makeup kit. It's like, if you want better makeup in The Sims 4, that kit is very worth it. It's only like a £5, and it's got some really amazing makeup in it. But anyway, I digress. Lips wise, we got these nice really red lips from Realm of Magic. I also did the harsh blush to sort of like pull her face in, maybe make her features seem a little bit harsher than what they actually are. But yes, this is Arbella as Morticia, and I think she just looks awesome. I kind of do wish I could get a little bit more of a goth vibe, but I'm really hoping in future packs maybe we do get the Morticia dress of my dreams. But let's move on to Mortimer, and obviously Mortimer is our Gomez. And Gomez in the film is quite simple, and we've kept it quite simple with Morticia. I keep calling him Morticia because we were talking about Morticia before, but he is Mortimer. So yes, I used this suit from Life and Death. It's the grey, like a grey pinstripe suit. I think it's like one that maybe the inheritance lawyers wear or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, I just think this one really matches the kind of the suit that Gomez wore in the movies. In like Raul Julia is my favourite Gomez. I do like the new Gomez. Controversial, I know a lot of people don't like him. I do like him, like the new one from the Wednesday series, but my ultimate Gomez is Raul Julia. And yes, I gave him little pointy shoes from their base game, just because the shoes that Gomez wears are a little bit pointier. But yes, I absolutely love him. Hair wise, I changed his hair. Obviously this is what he normally has. It's kind of a similar style, just a little bit less sleek, if you like. But obviously I sleeked it up. I made it kind of like slicked back, like in the movies. But yeah, I think it looks like really good. And he already had like the little tash, so that's that's something we didn't have to do anything for. But it is a little bit more subtle, but I think, like, especially if you look at them as a whole family, you can see that they are the Addams family. So I think it's cool that it, like, they tell a story together, but you can also notice which characters are supposed to be if you look at them separately. So we are moving on to our little Cassandra, and she is obviously our Wednesday of the family. And this one is my favourite of the Addamses. So here she is. This dress is Realm of Magic. There is another swatch that actually looks pretty cool with it. There's like this one with the stars on. You could use that one if you wanted, depending on your preference. I prefer the plain black, so that's why I went for the plain black. But there are some other dresses. There aren't ones that have like the collar and stuff, but you could just pretty much get away with any black dress. If you paired it with the right tights, it would look like Wednesday, and the right and some plaits, it would look like Wednesday. But she sorry about that, guys. I had a bit of a frog in my throat all of a sudden. So yeah, you could pretty much wear any black dress. This just happens to be my favourite. These little shoes are from Life and Death. I do actually prefer these ones as Wednesday shoes. The only problem is we don't have any actual tights that go all the way over the feet, and I don't like that look. I prefer covering it up so that they do look like tights. The tights or the leggings that we're using, whoops, here, they're from the Spooky Pack. Obviously you don't have to have the black and white stripy tights. They're quite classic, I guess, from even like before the 90s ones, like in the cartoon series, and like in the original Addams Family movie. Like, this is very, very classic Addams Family. Hair wise, we went for these plaits. These are base game plaits, but there are tons of different plaits that you could use depending on your preference. I just happen to prefer these, and they happen to be base game. That's that's kind of the reason that I got them. I didn't want one with a fringe. I wanted I wanted them without a fringe, and I wanted them to hang in front and like be that kind of length. So that they were the ones that ended up working out the best. And then we did on her face, makeup wise, we gave her some really like dark eyeshadow to sort of like give her dark circles. Basically the whole point is to make her look a bit ill, maybe make her look a little bit sort of dead looking, I guess, because that's the way that Wednesday rolls. So so we've got these like the really dark eyeshadow. I did then use the eyeliner from base game that looks smudged, just to have the extra sort of circle under the eye. I used, again, like with Bella, I used the harsh blush to kind of like make her features look a bit more harsh, sort of to cut into her face a little bit more. Lips wise, I did the Life and Death lips. That's the lipstick that like Olive Spectre wears, but I made my own shade. I faffed around with the blue. I made them look sort of like dead people's lips, basically, like she should like was a corpse, basically. Yes, so that's what I went for. And I used the highlight from Love Struck because I wanted to sort of lighten this part of her face and her nose, just to kind of like emphasize the dark circles a little bit more and maybe make her look a little bit more sickly. So that's like Wednesday, and she is my favorite of these costumes. I just think that she looks super cute. Absolutely love her. So then we have little Alexander, and of course the final member of the Addams family is Pudsley. But where are you? Party. Pudsley. Did I not do it in that one? There we go. I forgot to do it in Party. I did it in Everyday. I've done that a few times on some of them. My bad. But Pudsley is a bit more difficult to do. That we don't have any black and white striped t-shirts. Like, we could go for something like this one, I suppose. That kind of has a stripe, but again, it's not really black stripes. yeah, so I am a bit miffed that I can't make Pugsley look quite as Pugsley as I would like. Which is a little bit annoying. And also the shorts, I really wanted, I did do an alternate version as well with this like business and hobbies t-shirt. I thought there was a black and white stripe version in this t-shirt, but unfortunately there isn't. There's only like this like pink and black one, there's like this green and brown one, or this like blue and white one. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit disappointing. And the shorts as well, I wanted shorts that were kind of like a little bit longer, sort of like that hit him sort of like at the knees. But unfortunately the only ones that we have like that aren't really the kind of style that I wanted. They're as you can see, like if you scroll down, they're either denim, which I didn't want, or they're like sort of sporty shorts, and neither of those really work for Pugsley. I wanted some like actual sort of like trouser shorts, like something that was a little bit more tailored, that kind of thing. The boots are from Cats and Dogs, but there are tons of different boots that you could use. That's not really like, it doesn't really matter if you don't have cats and dogs. And then here's his little black socks as well, our base game. I did change his hair. Obviously normally he has this like curtains hair, but for his spooky day outfits I gave him this kind of like, it's a little bit like a buzz cut, but a little bit longer, and that was from For Rent. You could, if you don't have For Rent, you could just give him just like a normal buzz cut, because from the films Pugsley does have really, really short hair. So yeah, that was the kind of vibe I was going. So he's probably like the one I'm most disappointed in. I'm really like holding out that they'll just give me a black and white stripy like t-shirt or shirt, something, for me to be able to put him in a cute little spooky day outfit. But unfortunately that is not the case. So we're going to have a look next. We're going to do the pancakes, because I messed up the pancakes and put Bob's outfit on his everyday outfit, because I am a div. So we're going to quickly flick through to Eliza, because I need to tell the story. So Eliza, obviously, she is a perfectionist. So when Eliza picks a costume, she picks a costume because she thinks that she can do it absolutely perfectly and absolutely right. So with that in mind, this is Eliza's costume. This is one of my favourites of the day. And if you can't tell, which I'm hoping you can, she is supposed to be Velma from Scooby-Doo. So this you can pull off completely in base game. This is base game, this is base game, the socks are base game. The shoes that she has on aren't base game, but there are others that you can use from base game. I just happen to prefer these ones, and I had access to them. And I just think she looks absolutely amazing. It is like one of my favourite costumes, and it was just like a stroke of genius when I decided to put Eliza in this. I think that like Eliza wanted something that was a little bit spooky and a little bit sort of reminiscent of spooky season, but she didn't want to go full on scary. So Eliza went for Velma, and it helps obviously that she is also a redhead. She has a similar length hair. I mean, you could keep her in her hair, like this hair. I just happen to really like the Dine Out bob, and I think it gives like the nice fullness that Velma has in her hair. But there are tons of other bobs in the game that you could use, or like I said, you could keep her own bob that she already has on from the base game. The glasses wise, these ones are from, I think, Business and Hobbies, but again, there are some base game ones that you can use, like these ones. These ones, there's a black version of them, so you could use those. I just happen to really like these ones better, so that's why I use them. Again, because I had access to them. I thought I might as well just use them. I didn't really do anything for her makeup. The only thing I did was I did give her like this light lipstick from Life and Death, just to like give her a tiny little bit of like a pinky colour on her lips. But otherwise I didn't really want to put heavy makeup on her, because Velma doesn't really have super heavy makeup. And then like basically, obviously in Scooby-Doo, Velma is especially in the original series of Scooby-Doo, Velma is besotted with Fred. So Eliza was like, I'm going to be Velma, let's do like a couple's costume, and let's stick with the Scooby-Doo theme. So instead of Bob actually being sensible and doing what Eliza wanted and dressing up as Fred, he decided to dress up as Shaggy. And so I accidentally did his on his everyday outfit, but this is as shaggy as I could get, basically. This is obviously a green top from Life and Death, but there are tons of green t-shirts from Life and Death. These little trousers are from the movie Night Pack. It's I did want trousers that didn't have these in, but I did want this kind of shape of trousers, and yeah, these are the ones that I could only find that that were that shape, and that's kind of like retro, more 70s feel to them. But yeah, I just think he looks cute. Shoes wise, I took the masculine tag off and used these university shoes, because they've got like the little heel and they're like a little bit platformy. Shaggy's shoes in the show are platformy, but it doesn't matter too much anyway, because you can't really see his shoes. So if you don't really have any platformy shoes, then just stick him in whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. And then hair wise, this hair is from Horse Ranch, but there are tons of like similarly kind of like shaggy doos of that kind of length that you could use. I just happened to pick that one. That one happened to be my favourite when I was going through. But yeah, I didn't dye his hair. I was tempted to dye his hair because obviously Shaggy's hair is kind of like brown, so I mean we could dye his hair. Obviously if you dye your hair, that changes all your outfits to that colour if you change your hair colour, but it takes like 2 seconds to change back after you've had your party. So you could pretend it was a wig, or you could pretend it was like hair dye or something, like temporary hair dye that you can just wash out. So yeah, that's that's him. And then facial hair, I took his normal facial hair off and I used this one from the Parenthood pack. Basically Shaggy has like a few like wispy chin hairs, not like a full-on beard or anything, so this is the closest that I could get to that kind of like just growing in beard or really struggling to grow in a beard. So yes, this is Bob as Shaggy, almost getting his Halloween costume right, but also missing the mark by a mile and upsetting his wife as he always does. The story of Bob's life. So let's move on to, I think we're going to do the Kim Lewis household next, because they have some fun little ones as well that I really like. Yeah, let's do them next. So here we have Eric, of course. He is mostly his like style is kind of quite, I guess, conservative, sort of by the book, nothing too adventurous and out there. So for Halloween, this is what we went for. Yay! So I thought that like Eric would really like the 70s vibe, sort of maybe Shaft, maybe a little bit disco, that kind of like feeling. So I used this full body outfit from Seasons. there are a few different like versions of this that you could use. Like maybe this one would probably work really well for like Elvis, if you wanted to make an Elvis kind of Halloween costume or whatever anytime costume. You could also use any of the others for, I don't know, you could probably think of some things to use them for, like which one was it? This one is a little bit like daredevilish, like makes you think a bit like of like Steve McQueen, like kind of vibes. But yeah. You could even make like maybe make your own like superhero or something like that. Maybe have a geeky sim that is really into superheroes, and they have their own like superhero. But yeah, I just really love that. These shoes that I used are from university. I did actually mess up, I should have put the purple ones on, but yeah, I just think it looks really cute. His actual body, because he was base game, he didn't have any body hair, because that wasn't added until a lot later, so I did give him like the thickest body hair that we could get. Basically, like in the 70s, it was really like a big thing to have quite thick body hair on men, so that's like that's what I went for. Like, I don't know if you've seen Austin Powers, but with a really thick like Austin Powers like body hair, that's what I was kind of thinking. But yes, that was what we went for, and I absolutely love it. So we're gonna have a look at Vivian. Sorry, she's obviously Eric's mom, and she did a little rich lady, like a little maybe Black Widow, or just like a widower who is like spending all her rich dead husband's money on fancy clothes and jewels. I I think that like this is quite a cute little costume for like maybe Sims that are a little bit more reserved, especially maybe like older Sims that maybe aren't quite as into the party spirit as everyone else, and just want something a little bit easier that they can use. This dress that she has on is from Get Famous, but you could use, there are like lots of other kinds of like rich lady dresses, if you like, that you could use, and you could use like the gloves come with this dress, but there are like evening gloves in accessories that you could use. The shoes that I used on her were the Love Struck ones that are like based on the designer ones. I can't remember which designer it is now, but yeah. So those, but obviously there are tons of heels. This is like a really easy look to pull off for anyone who doesn't have access to mini packs or maybe just has base game. Hair wise, we went for this like updo. It's a very classic updo, maybe a little bit old fashioned, but it really suits the vibe that is that we would be going for with this kind of like rich old lady feel. Then obviously we had a diamond necklace and diamond earrings, because if she's rich, that's what she's going to do. She's going to wear lots of ice, make her look even richer and even more luxurious. But I just think this is really fun, and it's just a really like easy costume. It doesn't look too out there, but you still get a vibe from it. So now we're going to move on to Alice, who is obviously married to Eric. I nearly called him Alex for some reason. So her vibe is sort of, it's in keeping with Eric's and his like 70s disco look. She decided to do couples look with him and do 70s as well, but she's gone for like the hippie side of the 70s. Obviously there's quite a few different like main sort of fashion trends from the 70s. There's like punk and sort of disco and hippie, and yeah, so that's what we kind of went for her. Because she's outdoorsy, she's creative, I thought hippie suited her better than something like punk, so that's what we went for. This little top's Laundry Day. The skirt is Strangerville. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Yes, Strangerville. These little bangles on this side are from Business and Hobbies. This is Base Game. These little sandals are from Business and Hobbies as well. And the necklace is Spooky Stuff. But you could probably find stuff to make this outfit in Base Game. There are probably some just full body outfits that you could probably get away with using for like sort of boho-y, hippie kind of vibe. But yeah, I just think this looks really cute on her. It really suits her personality. I think she looks really sweet. Hair wise, I did change her like sort of sleek hair out for curls. I just think that that's a bit more like along the kind of like hippie lines. Makeup wise, I went pretty simple. I didn't really give her very bold makeup. I did give her little pink cheeks. That's the thing that I've been doing recently. I really like the sort of, I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit like sunburn. I just really like that kind of look, maybe a little bit e-girl as well. But yeah, and lipstick was Life and Death. The same one I used before on like the Goths for Cassandra. It's just like the light one that kind of just adds a tiny little bit of colour and not too much. But yeah, so I really love this like little outfit, and again I really like how she's kind of gone for a couple's costume, but they're not too matchy, which I think that kind of sums up the like Alice and Eric as a couple. They kind of suit each other, but they're also a little bit like at odds. They don't necessarily seem like they would make a good couple, if that makes sense. Right, so now we're going to move on to Dennis, and he's Alice's dad. So he's neat, perfectionist, and loves the outdoors. So I thought that maybe he would be a little bit apprehensive about wearing a costume or something that looked really costumey. So instead, what we did for him is we made him into a little fisherman. And that's like, I think that because of his sort of like him being a bit more apprehensive about being out there and wearing like a full-on costume, he maybe raided his own wardrobe and found like these items that he already had. So the top is Outdoor Retreat, the trousers are Batu, if I remember rightly, yes, and the wellies are Seasons. But this kind of like outdoorsy look you could pull off with lots of different items from the game. This little hat is the Enchanted by Nature hat. I like the little flower. That's kind of why I chose it. I just thought it looked cute with his like the rest of his wearing the rest of his clothing. Sorry, don't know where that came from. But that hat would be quite good on like a little gardener as well. You could make like a little gardener outfit. There's lots of clothes that you could use for that. So I won't do gardener because that one's a bit more of an obvious one, but that would be a nice little hat to go with that. But yeah, I just thought this was quite nice and sort of good for a reserved sim, maybe a sim who's a little bit self-conscious, that wants to join in but doesn't want to go crazy. And after all, spooky season is about being whoever you want to be, and if what you want to be is something that you would normally be anyway, that is completely 100% fine. So our last member is little Olivia, and as you can see, she has a red hair going on. That might be a little clue as to what her outfit is. With the kids' costumes, it's really hard to do an actual costume, so sometimes you have to go for a vibe. and that's kind of what I've gone for with little Olivia. So let us take a look at what we did for her. So here she is, and she is of course Ariel from The Little Mermaid, like the Disney Ariel, and I think she looks super cute. She has the mermaidy vibe, obviously without the mermaidy tail, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. She has this little top on for island living, but there is like a little crop top that you could use in base game that comes, it's like one of the ones that is used for swimwear. This little skirt is base game, so obviously anyone could use that as well. The little leggings are base game, to carry on like the illusion, if you like, of her having a mermaid tail. And then these little shoes are from Enchanted by Nature, but I'm sure there are probably some other similar shoes that you could use that are a similar colour, or even go barefoot, which would work out fine with this kind of like look. You could go even something like that. Like, it's their base game, and yeah, they're fine for wearing. Yeah, I just thought that was really cute. And then obviously her hair, we're saying this is a wig because obviously it's a lot longer than her hair is normally, and also it's red, but like I said before, if you change the hair colour in one outfit, it does change it for all of them. So just bear in mind that you will probably, like, you'll have to change the hair colour back if you don't want them changed to that colour permanently. But yes, I chose this hair from, I can't remember what pack that is. Nope, I don't remember what pack that is. It's one of the, let's have a quick look and see. It is Kids Room, that's it. Sorry, completely forgot then. I just like it because it's sort of, it's a little bit wavy, it's got a little plait, so it kind of gives off mermaid vibes. But there are tons of like hairs. Some curly hairs would be really good. One hair that is like, I think looks quite nice as sort of like a mermaidy vibe is this one. Like, it's like the new wolf cut that we got given in the base game update. I think that looks pretty cute as like a mermaidy hair. But yes, so we have Olivia as a little Ariel, and I think like it just looks really cute. And I do like, I kind of like doing things like this because it does sort of make you think outside the box, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make these videos. Like, I didn't want to put the Sims in costumes that you easily make. So for example, like Darth Vader or like stormtroopers, you can get a stormtrooper outfit, but you know, that's quite easy to just put them in the stormtrooper outfit. Everything's there for you to use. But these kinds of like costumes where they're ones that you've kind of thought of and put together yourself, I think that it's like, it sort of expands your mind a little bit. It makes you think a little bit more creatively, when you're in Creator Sim. Even like, it may even help with like building and stuff. I don't do a lot of building, but like any kind of thing that helps you sort of open your mind and helps you expand on your creativity will help you in other areas that you have to use your creativity. So that's really why I wanted to do this. I just thought like, it's really fun. It's the kind of thing that I like to do anyway. And then it also at the same time lets me like think about things a little bit differently. So let us now come out of this and we shall go and see the BFFs, since they're our last ones, and the BFFs have some really fun little costumes. And so we'll start with our little Travis. These aren't my made over versions. I'm using just a normal fresh save for these videos. Anything that I do kind of like this, I like people to be able to spot straight away who the Sims are that I'm using. So that's why I don't use my made over ones, because I don't want people to be too confused when they see my Travis compared to everyone else's Travis. So yes, as you can see, he is a geek, so we took that inspiration for his outfit. Where did it go? It was in party, wasn't it? Yeah. So we went for a little Indiana Jones feeling. Basically all of this outfit is Jungle Adventure, so if you've got Jungle Adventure, Indiana Jones is a super easy costume to do. These boots are base game, so you can use those boots, but there are lots of like similar tops that you could use in lots of different packs. I'm pretty sure there's even one in base game that you can use that kind of has this kind of like explorer, maybe a little bit safari kind of vibe. There's like the trousers, you might not be able to find trousers that have a pouch, but you could just use some like green combat trousers, or some like jeans or something. Like there are tons of different trousers that you could use to get a similar vibe. These just happen to be what I liked the most and what I thought looked most like Indiana Jones from what I had available to me. Hat wise, again, this is the jungle one, but a good option for base game is this little hat here. It's a bit cowboyish, but you kind of get the same vibe. It's like the right kind of colour, and I can see like Indiana Jones wearing something similar to that. But yeah, so that's our little Travis. We didn't really do anything. This is quite a simple one. I just really liked the idea that he would pick something really geeky. I'm sure that Travis, if he was a real sim, would like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, all those kind of like Lucas films. They like, yeah, I just think he'd really love that and really like vibe with it. The next one is Liberty, and she has one of my very favourite Halloween costumes on. I use this quite a lot on my Sims, especially if they're geeky. Again, it has the geeky vibe, but I think it just looks so good. So let us have a look. She is, of course, Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider video game series. I absolutely love how this like comes together, this outfit. So this top is base game. It's the like the little binder kind of top that we were given. It has this shade, is like the perfect shade for old school Lara Croft. These I get together. I like these because they have the straps. They kind of look like the leg holsters that she has her guns in the video game. But obviously if you don't have get together, you could just use any brown shorts and you get a similar effect. You just wouldn't have the straps. There aren't any others, I don't think, with straps like that on, but it's not the end of the world if you can't find them. The shoes are base game, the socks are base game, and these gloves are enchanted by nature. Unfortunately, they're the only like fingerless kind of gloves that we have in the game, which is a little bit unfortunate because I would like a few more pairs actually. I prefer them to like gloves, but yeah, so Lara Croft wears those kinds of things in her video game. Unfortunately, obviously the only thing that we don't have is Lara Croft's guns, but I'm sure there's probably a mod somewhere that you could get that for, or like custom content or something. For me, I don't care that the guns aren't there. It's just like would finish off the look. Hair wise, this hair is from high school years. But there are similar hairs that you could use. You could use ones that are like a plait instead, or like a really high ponytail. Anything like that really kind of gives off Tomb Raider vibes. This was the one that I decided that I liked the most. But when I've done Tomb Raider before, I have used a few different hairs depending on the sim that I put it on. It just depended on like how I felt. Yeah. I just love it. I think she's cute. These glasses are from what are they from? Can't remember if they're business. Oh no, for rent. Sorry, they're from for rent. But there's like lots of ones from like other packs that you could use, or you could just not use them at all. They're not totally necessary with the Lara Croft costume. It just happened that these were basically the same as the ones that she has on in the game, so that's why I chose them. But yeah, I did give her the little pink cheeks again. I toned down her makeup a little bit. I didn't really faff with her makeup too much, and I did give her brown lips because Lara Croft has brown lipstick on. But otherwise, like, yeah, I didn't go too heavy on the makeup just because she's a girl of action. Lara Croft doesn't need the hassle of having to do her makeup when she's in the middle of the jungle tomb raiding. So that is our Liberty as Lara, and then finally we have Summer. And of course my headcanon, if you've watched my BFF's makeover, is that Summer is actually a rich girl, but she's slumming it, and she's keeping it as a secret from her housemates that she is a rich girl. But this is what I've gone for her costume. Of course, this is Marilyn Monroe. I think this is really cute, and this is completely base game doable. This top and this skirt are both base game. These shoes aren't base game, but there are tons of other high heels that you could use. For instance, these ones you could use that give the same kind of effect. I just picked those kind of like slip-ons because that's the kind that Marilyn Monroe had. Gave her some nice red fingernails. I gave her a little diamond bracelet just because they went with when I looked at some photos of this outfit that Marilyn Monroe wears, she had like a little bracelet on. Face wise, this hair is from Nifty Knitting, but there are tons of other hairs that you could use that have a similar effect. I know there's definitely one in For Rent that has like a similar like sort of vintage sort of 50s kind of aesthetic. So yeah, you could pull that off. I just got this one, just really screams Marilyn Monroe to me, so that's why I chose this one. And then if we look at her makeup, I gave her the smoky eye because obviously Marilyn Monroe kind of made the smoky eye the thing. She was pretty famous for her smoky eye, so that's why I gave that to Summer. And we gave her winged eyeliner because, again, Marilyn was very famous for her winged eyeliner. Blush wise, I think I just kept the blush that Summer has on normally. And then I gave her really red lips because, again, Marilyn Monroe was really famous for her red lip. The only thing I didn't do actually that probably would be good is to add a little like mole on her face as like a little beauty spot kind of thing, like that side. I think it's that side that Marilyn Monroe has, but yeah, so that kind of like, that's Marilyn Monroe. These earrings are Get Together, possibly. Yeah, Get Together. I chose those literally because she wears pretty much those exact earrings in the photos. If you look at these photos, if you Google like Marilyn Monroe white dress, you'll see the photos in that she is pretty much wearing those exact earrings. So that is why I chose those for her. But yeah, so she is our last little outfit for the day. I will probably at least do a similar kind of video with the residents of Oasis Springs. I might do some other worlds as well, but it all depends on how I feel and what other like spooky day videos I kind of come up with. But But yes, I just really enjoyed this. And again, like I said before, I really like how it sort of pushes you to think outside of the box, sort of expand your mind, expand your creativity, and really like gets you like having fun and just sort of pushing like the different boundaries of the game, like what you can do with the game. So I think that I'll probably now basically say dag dag. If you have any opinions on my outfits, maybe there's something that you think I could have done better or done, or if there's something that you really liked, maybe some costumes that you've used in the game, like costumes that you've made your Sims up in. I really like chatting in the comments, so yeah, just let me know if there's anything that you want to talk about. I just think it's a fun little topic for a fun time of year, and I thought it might be fun to inspire you in your games. So I will say dag dag, and I hope you have a very spooky day on this very first day of spooky season, and I will see you next time. Dag dag.